What's going on, you guys? I'm, as always, Mr. Grim Reaper 512 here with
Alpha Wolf.
And today, we apologize, by the way, for not giving you guys this review sooner. Me and her had gone to go see Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom this past Saturday. And a lot of other stuff had happened, and that's all I need to know. But speaking of which, welcome back to Jurassic Park Week. Okay, so before we start, I just want to give you guys a fair warning. There will be spoilers in this review. This is not going to be a normal movie review. This is going to be filled to the top, to the brim with nothing but spoilers from this movie. We're going to give you guys our problems, the problems that went on with this film. We're going to talk about everything. So, as always, this film is directed by J.A. Bayana. I don't know. Anyway, this film was written by Colin Trevorrow and Derek Conley. This film stars, again, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Rafi Spall, Justice Smith, Daniela Pineda, James Cromwell, and the return of B.D. Wong. And this film is the fifth iteration of the Jurassic Park series. So we're going to talk about what we saw in the film and what made us hate this movie so bad. So this happens 3 years after the incident of the first film. Jurassic World. Island Nublar has been abandoned. A small team of mercenaries arrives on the island to collect DNA from the Endorex. That's what I'm gonna call them. Remains that lie at the bottom of the park's lagoon. After sending a bone fragment to the surface, the team is attacked by the park's Mosasaurus and T-Rex. As the team barely escapes, the lagoon gate is left open, allowing the Mosasaurus to escape into the ocean.
Which I was disappointed. We didn't see much of that either.
Yeah. Okay, so we go to the Senate hearing.
On whether they should rescue the dinosaurs from this pending volcanic eruption.
Yeah. Where we meet Ian Malcolm. He testifies that the dinosaurs should be allowed to perish to correct the mistake John Hammond made by cloning them during the first movie, the Jurassic Park. Meanwhile, Jurassic World's former operations manager, Claire Dearing, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, has created the Dinosaur Protection Group to save the dinosaurs when the Senate rules against their rescue. Claire is contacted by Benjamin Lockwood. We're going to get into that jackass later. Hammond's former partner. Claire meets Lockwood and his aide. That's the asshole, Eli Mills. Mm-hmm. Benjamin Lockwood is the old guy. Never mind. But anyway, at his estate in Northern California. Soon after, they plan to move the dinosaurs to a new island sanctuary. Mills is concerned that locating Blue, the last living velociraptor, will be difficult, so Claire recruits Owen Grady. Yeah, so that's all you're gonna need to know for right now. Who wants to start first?
I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start.
Okay. Let's talk about the clones. The
Dinosaurs.
let's
On
talk
the
about
island?
well, I want to get into the when we come to find out that the girl is a clone.
That happens at the end of the movie, though.
Well, we're going out of order.
It always stays in.
Yeah.
So what about that?
Yeah. Okay, so if y'all guys remember, and some of you probably do, there was this little girl. I forget what her name is.
Macy.
Yeah, Macy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Macy. We come to find out that the little girl, Macy, is or Maisie or something. I don't know how to say it, but we come to find out that she is a clone. Made from I have no idea.
So Benjamin Lockwood's daughter, the old man who was friend to John Hammond, he made a clone of his daughter who died in a car accident.
Yeah.
And this whole time, this little girl didn't know. She just thought that she was his granddaughter. And we find out later in the movie that she is in fact a clone. And of course, this shakes her world. She makes decisions that are sympathetic to the other clones, aka the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But what did you want to talk about for her?
How dumb she is. Let's talk about that. At the end of this movie, they made a dumb, horrific mistake. When they were up in this control room, and the dinosaurs, Bryce Dallas Howard's character Claire, she had just opened the gates to let the dinosaurs out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you remember in the movie, there's this button on the console that they were gonna. Do you remember what Owen told her?
Hey, there's no going back after
Yeah.
she presses that button. And so she doesn't press the button. And
She doesn't press the button, but who does?
The girl.
The girl, the clone. And what is her reasoning for this? I'm a clone. They're just like me.
No, she's a little girl.
Really, Cassie?
She could have been killed too. She's an abomination just as much as they are. Why not kill her and the toxic gases? Which is why the dinosaurs are dying, and they want to let them out.
But why? But it was just knowing full well, these dinosaurs are gonna run amok in our world. These dinosaurs are gonna run amok in our world. They're gonna want to look for food.
Well, most of them are.
And who's the next? And who's the next one? And who's the next people on the top of the food chain?
Well, I mean, don't mess with the T-Rex or the Velociraptor. That's really all the carnivores they captured. No, they had like a baryonyx and allosaurs.
Yeah, but
Still,
there's
most of them were herbivores.
yeah, but there was so many. But that should not have happened. They should have. What they should have done, and this is something else that another guy said, that another dude said, and this is what goes back to that, idea of violent nature versus evolution. You could have put them on what? Okay, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself here, but there was another guy that made a review himself. You know him better as Chris Stuckman. He said in his review, the easiest thing that you could have done was that instead of was that you could have moved them off of Island Nublar completely, and the other you could have moved them back to Isla Sorna, because it would have made a ton. They're looking for sanctuary for these dinosaurs,
which they had. John, what was his name? John, the Lockwood guy.
Benjamin Lockwood.
There, he had an island, but his assistant or whatever he was went behind his back and wanted to sell the dinosaurs. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
So they didn't care about the others, and they just let them die. So there's only 11 dinosaurs living.
My problem is that my problem is that they did not learn anything whatsoever from the first Jurassic World film. There was so many mistakes that they could have done I just lost my point. God damn it.
What were you saying?
Yeah. I was trying to make a point about
there were so many things they could have done to end this thing.
The situation that they were in, but they just made it worse. They just made it 10 times worse. Mm-hmm. You and I don't know. I'm just.
So what I'm wondering, like going back to the beginning, they show like the whatever it is, the Indominus Rex inside of a dead mosasaur, I think.
Yeah.
Then there's another one. How did it breed?
I have no idea.
There's only one, right?
Yeah, there was only one mosasaurus.
I could be wrong.
From the first film, there was one mosasaurus. And yeah, I remember the bones. I remember the bones. From the beginning of the movie, but yeah, that's just, I don't know. But anyway, so
where are we at?
I think we're here. We're here.
Oh,
somewhere.
So they go with this rescue group, Claire, Owen, and a paleo veterinarian and some hacker kid.
Let me talk about that for a second.
What?
The paleo veterinarian, whatever the hell she was. Mm-hmm. How is it you call yourself a paleo veterinarian, but you've never dealt with a dinosaur in your life? You've never dealt with that kind of creature in your life.
Well, I mean,
and that's exactly what she said. She admitted it. You remember at the beginning of the film, she admitted it that she never met a dinosaur to save her life.
Yeah, but it's probably a true thing though. They probably really have that in the real life. Maybe you study the bones and how they're supposed to be, and then say something comes in, something died with a broken leg, you can easily say that, oh, it died of a broken leg or something. Or you can establish the health of the dinosaur when it died.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it a real thing? Look it up.
I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, so we meet Ken Whitley, and we meet Claire. We meet Franklin Webb, who I think was in the first film, was he?
Who? What?
Oh no, that's the IT guy. Never mind.
Oh yeah, the hacker guy.
The guy that was always if he didn't want to be there, I felt like that dude did not want to be there.
Well, I think he liked.
Why did he want to be there?
I think he liked the girl that went with him. Maybe. I don't know. They kept bickering, so obviously they liked each other.
I don't know. But anyway, okay, so let me see here. So they arrive at Island Nublar. Wheelie and other mercenaries search for Blue. Upon finding Blue, the encounter escalates and the mercenaries shoot her and tranquilize Owen. Okay. Okay. So, I wanted to talk to you about the idea of the Indoraptor.
You don't want to talk about the guy who just shot Blue?
Yeah, let's talk about that first.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that first. And then we'll talk about the Indoraptor. Okay, so, what did you think of this dude?
He's sick.
Whitley.
He's sick. That's the hunter, right?
Yeah.
With the teeth.
Yeah.
So this guy, he tranquilizes the dinosaurs and takes one of their teeth. And they don't have anything for pain or anything. He just takes it out with his pliers that he always carries.
Yeah.
And then he's just doing this for money. He says like 1,000 times, like, "Oh, I want my bonus. We got the raptor. I want my bonus."
Yeah.
And then while all this Blue stuff with Blue is happening, his other men are out capturing one of each dinosaur on the island.
Sorry about that, guys. Just
I'm a dumb dog.
yeah.
I'm a dumb cat.
As you
What was I saying?
you were talking about Whitley and how much of an asshole he is.
Yeah. One of the dinosaurs they left was a Brachiosaurus.
That was a sad moment. I hated that.
And, Brachiosauruses, they're very limited on movement. They're big, giant creatures who move very slowly because of their size. And
Wasn't that the animal that introduced us to the first film?
yes, this was the first ever dinosaur we saw in the first Jurassic Park. This is the beautiful one. The one he said they do move in hers. This is the one you have that just amazing moment with. You feel such connection with it. And they didn't put him on the boat. They didn't. They left the dock just as he had gotten there. And so as the boat's leaving, we see him crying out, wanting help.
Yeah.
As the lava's already there, it's gonna take him. And it's just a horrible moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was not good at all. It was not good at all. What they could have done is that make sure you have all the animals.
Maybe they didn't need a Brachiosaurus. Maybe it was too much hassle.
I don't know. But anyway,
But they're getting these dinosaurs because, what's that guy? The assistant?
the Mills. I think that's his name.
The one who is in charge of Lockwood's money.
Yeah, it's
wants
Mills.
to sell these dinosaurs for God knows what they want. The rich people want for them, either like war or hunt or game. No one knows.
Yeah.
But in the end, we do see that I think 4 trucks were on their way out to a desert area.
Yeah.
So they're using these animals for something horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. But we'll talk about him. We'll talk about Mills later because I wanna tear that asshole apart. About how I feel about that jackass. Okay, so let me see here. So Maisie, Lockwood's orphan granddaughter, overhears Mills and Gunnar Eversole, who is played by, I believe, he's played by Toby Jones. This guy is a complete. This guy was had no heart whatsoever. Gunner.
None of them.
He's the you remember the auctioneer Gunner, right?
I remember him, little pasty guy.
Yeah. And I'm so happy he gets his. I'm so happy he got his.
Along with the 4 others.
Yeah.
Was it
Okay, so they're planning to auction off these captured dinosaurs and unveil the Indoraptor, a genetically engineered dinosaur.
just a prototype right now?
Yeah.
But they still auction him off.
Yeah.
Because they're idiots.
Created by Genesis, Dr. Henry Wu.
Who used the Indominus Rex bone and added more Velociraptor to it.
Yeah. Or they tried to, right?
No, they did. I mean, it was a real thing. It was just a prototype because he didn't have any socialization.
Yeah.
But they built him just for, like, war. And he was compatible with a gun, with a laser, and once he heard a noise, he could tear apart that one person.
Yeah.
He was very smart.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me see. Where are we? Okay. Maisie informs Lockwood about the auction, and he confronts Mills, who kills him.
Lockwood, the old man.
Yeah. I think Mills is a bastard for this, but not just that. The fact that they went and made another dinosaur, they decided to make it much more deadlier than the Indominus, because of the fact that if I remember correctly, he said during the auction that they had said during the auction how the Indoraptor
The button?
stalks his prey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's used just for war.
Yeah. But okay, so
But the whole time they used the old videos that Owen had did with the baby velociraptors when they were little.
Yeah.
And they were gonna use that to socialize, I guess, another Indoraptor with Blue as a mother.
Yeah.
And then with that, they would train it even more to be even more like a war machine almost.
Yeah. So, okay, so we come to the part where they transport the dinosaurs to the estate. Owen and Clara are discovered and confined while Zia and Franklin evade capture. And they ended up finding Maisie. So, okay. What did you think of Wu's protest? His protest against Mills about the Indoraptor.
Which part?
When we get to the auction,
Was he just a prototype?
he told Mills that it wasn't a good idea to auction off the raptor. Remember?
And he was right. He knows his own thing, yeah. And I guess he was trying to prevent what happened with the Indominus, with the Indoraptor right now.
Yeah.
Because he knows that it's still a dangerous thing that needs to be contained until it's right for the picking.
Yeah, but he's also I think Wu, which we've seen in all these other movies, has done dumb things himself.
Mm-hmm.
He created this raptor, knowing full well that this, if you try to use this, and this goes back to that conversation me and you had about the Indominus Rex. You use a dinosaur for war. What's gonna happen?
Oh.
It's gonna go against you, and it's gonna go against whoever it's gonna go against you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like karma, and karma's a bitch. You know what I mean? So that's why I think Wu was in the wrong for this. Mills was completely in the wrong for what he did. Instead of going through all this, trouble, they could have put the dinosaurs. That I still feel, going back, that they could have put the dinosaurs on another island, far away from what was going on with the island.
Isla Nublar.
Yeah, thank you. I can't talk today. I apologize. But again, they had to make the same mistakes, and not just that. I felt like if they really wanted to protect these dinosaurs, they could have just changed. They could have just taken them, put them on a different location. But no, we talked about this before. Money changes people. Greed is a son of a bitch.
Which you see that, like, when they're talking about what we should do, and then all the people in the streets, they're like, save the dinosaurs, relocate them and all that. And then, like, the Senate says, well, let's just let them die so nature can take its course again. This is nature trying to correct itself. But then all the people with all the money, they're like, let's use them for money. Let's make more money off of something that knows no place in this world. It doesn't even know what time it is. And let's turn it into this big old auction, and everything's gonna go fine.
Yeah.
And dinosaurs don't know, like, what we are.
Yeah.
They don't know how to relate us to good or bad. So yeah, it's understandable.
They just use it as a food chain, as a network of food, just like we use, plants and fruits and meat, stuff like that.
It's kind of like a baby dog. Like, it's new in the world. It doesn't really know, especially if it's a stray and it has no, like, human contact. It's going to be weary of people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do it wrong, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But this is the thing. Do you believe they made a mistake again?
Oh, yes.
Doing this.
With the Indoraptor, yes. Not taking the dinosaurs off the island and putting them next to people. Yes. And now, like, these dinosaurs are running amok, not knowing what to do. They don't know what buildings are much. They don't know what. I don't know. They just don't know.
Well, okay, so we go. I want to talk about the. It's the director. I want to talk about that for a second. The director of this film, J.A. Bayona, or whatever the hell his name is, did not. While I give him props for trying to come up with a good story, while I give him the props that he needs to come up with a good story, this felt like a rehash of the original 4 films. Mm-hmm. This film felt like a just complete rehash, because we saw the Brontosaurus. That was from the first film. That was from Jurassic Park. We saw the dinosaurs going on the mainland. That was from Lost World. We saw you can compare this. You can compare this to the other movies, and it'll fit it right. It'll fit it completely. I feel bad for the actors because the script wasn't there. The script was not good at all. The story could have. They could have. I've. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize for that. That was just my dad. But as I was talking about before, yeah, like I was saying, I feel real bad for the actors in this. The story made no sense. The everything in this just was just horribly mixed together, wrapped, tangled up together, and it just. What did you think?
I think this movie was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was just because now it's. I don't know how to put it. It was a disappointing rehash.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was basically just a way of continuing the franchise. It's just a dumb little excuse to continue the movies.
I just hope this is my thing. They're gonna make another one of these.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 years from now. I'm hoping that we get that. I'm hoping it's not. Damn, man, I am hoping it's not.
Well, because now all the beautiful herbivores that added the beauty to the other movies aren't gonna be there.
Yeah.
Now it's just gonna be war animals that they're gonna genetically make to be war animals.
Yeah. I just hope because I thought Colin Trevorrow as director did wonders for the first Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah.
We gave, if I remember correctly, wasn't it a 9.5 out of 10? Me and you gave
I
it,
think so. Can't remember though.
or 9
It was a good
9 out
review.
of 10. But yeah, I'm hoping that they get rid of this other guy, this J.A. Bayano, or whatever the hell you want to call his name.
I'm looking at the budget right now. It says 170 to 187 million.
Yeah.
I guarantee all of that went to just like the big T-Rex animatronic and the Velociraptor animatronic.
Look at what it got at the box office. $715 million.
Jesus. But like none of that went to the story.
None of it. None of it. You get Colin Trevorrow back as director in this, in the third film, I guarantee you, it'll be hell of a lot better than this. Mm-hmm. Hell of a lot better than this.
This is a horror movie.
Because what he did was very, very original.
Mm-hmm.
Even though some people seem to think, well, he was copying from Steven Spielberg. He was kind of copying from Steven Spielberg. I don't really agree with that statement. Mm-hmm. I think that what Colin Trevorrow did for the first Jurassic World, some people loved it, some people hate it. But I still feel that was the great that Jurassic World was the best out of these two films. Mm-hmm. The first Jurassic World was the best one out of these two films.
Definitely. And
you can fight me on that if you want to. I don't care. But I still think Jurassic World. I believe that Fallen Kingdom tried, but it failed miserably. Mm-hmm. It failed miserably on all fronts. The animatronics in this film,
they were beautiful.
They were good. They were really, really good. But story-wise, plot-wise, this just failed miserably. If the first 15 minutes of this film, they could have tried. This movie's supposed to be called Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. It's supposed to be. When you think of that, what do you think of?
Well, now that you say it like that, I do think of this movie though.
Yeah.
Because the dinosaurs were basically all gone, but now they've come here.
To our world. Mm-hmm. They have invaded our world. They this our world, and it goes back to the end of the film, where Jeff Goldblum said it himself. Jeff Goldblum said, "Dinosaurs and humans will now have to coexist."
No, I didn't like Jeff Goldblum in this because all he did was talk. He talked for like a minute each.
Yeah.
And he was just there to say the important stuff.
Yeah. But I still feel like he was telling the truth.
Well, yeah, of course he's telling the truth, but he doesn't have a rub it in our faces all the time. Why doesn't he stand up and do something? Instead of just sit down in front of the senators.
Well, that's what I felt bad. I felt bad for him too, but that's all they gave him. Yeah. He could have been part of this whole film, and everything would have changed. Mm-hmm. He could have told Mills, "You're being an idiot. You're making mistakes." He would have been all over. He would have been all over Woo. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This movie would have changed had they gave Jeff Goldblum more to do than the crap that we got from this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I felt like that this movie, even if you get Sam Neill back in this film, if you got Alan Grant back in this would have made it 10 times better. It would have made it 10 times more better. Because you have people who have experienced the horrors of what went on that island in the first movie. You could have even Ellie. You could have gotten her back. You could have put something together. See, if I was writing the script for this, it would have been exactly the name. I would have thought of the name, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. I would have thought of the name. I would have said, hey, this is how we're going to put this together. We're going to have the dinosaurs on our world. This is the movie we're going to have the dinosaurs in our world. And they're going to invade our world. And we as humans are going to have to try to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to survive.
Now, wait. The thing said there was only 11 dinosaurs to auction.
Yeah.
And they took 4, so there's only like about 7. What really is so bad? Most of them are herbivores.
Most of them.
There's 2 that aren't.
Well, how would you write this? That's what I want to know.
I wouldn't. This is a terrible movie, and no matter what. Oh. Because if I would write it, I just relocate them, and that's it.
Yeah, I would.
Or next movie, let the T-Rex eat all the rich people. Now, that's a good movie.
I'd be willing to see dinosaurs. See, if I was gonna write a film, if I was gonna write something, I would love to see. While I liked the human characters, while I liked some of them, I did not like all of them. While I liked some of them, I thought Owen was a complete asshole. Mm-hmm. Even from the first movie, he was a complete asshole.
At least he was smart in the first movie.
Claire was just...
She was out there.
She was out there. Zia was just the paleo veterinarian. Sorry guys for that. Anyway, okay, so yeah, we were talking about the characters, I think. The paleo veterinarian. What'd you think about her?
I liked her. She saved Blue. And for her first time, yeah, I liked her.
And the IT guy?
I mean, he was important, but
Not really. Not that. I don't think so. I really don't believe that he was. He was just there for comic relief, which this movie just, I don't know. It really didn't need. Um, what'd you think of Lockwood?
The old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He. That's what I didn't like. It was like another John Hammond.
Yeah.
He was our closest thing left to John Hammond, and then they killed him.
Yeah. I told y'all how I felt, how me and her felt about Gunner, Toby Jones' character. He was just an asshole. Ken Whitley, he was an asshole. Woo, he was an asshole.
Which is sad because in the original movie, he was the one that was like making strides to learn more about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like he's doing science that doesn't need to be done.
Yeah, it's going back to that whole situation. Greed makes the world go around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just so stupid. But we're gonna talk about our predictions. In this, we're gonna talk about our predictions real quick about what we would like. I'm hoping that Colin does different. I'm hoping that Colin Trevorrow does different with this in the third film.
Is he the one that's directing it?
Yeah, he's back as director. Colin Trevorrow is back as director in the third film in Jurassic World 3. But let me see if I remember correctly. Here it is. Yeah, Trevorrow is going to be back as director for the film. I hope that Pratt and Howard are going to reprise their roles in the third film.
Of course.
But what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in the? What do you think? What do you think now that we're out of the now that we're the animals have been let loose? Mm-hmm. What are your predictions for the third film? What you want to see?
What I want to see. I do want to see more clones of dinosaurs, just because I want to see them be sustained on our world.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. I know the T-Rex is probably going to be there, being the savior of everyone again, as she always is, even though she probably wouldn't be in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of more animal cruelty, because they want to be making these animals into war machines.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've kind of lost hope for this series now.
Yeah. I'm with you in that. I'm with you in that regard, because I think that this series, I really believe this series needs a complete overhaul. I'm not talking about the Jurassic Park, the 3 first films. I'm talking about this series in general, Jurassic World. Even though I do believe that the first film was good, Jurassic World, this one fell on its ass too many times, and it needed to. It needs to change. This whole thing needs to complete. They need a complete overhaul.
Yeah. And they give us such a grand film before this to come off of, and then they go to this one.
Yeah. You talk about You talk about remaking a movie. This needs to be remade. This needs to be remade
this just needs to be scrapped.
Yeah. They need to make a better sequel to the first Jurassic World.
Because in the trailer, they totally misguide us.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to save the dinosaurs, maybe let them out. And we're going to see all these amazing scenes. Like, we're going to see more of the Mosasaurus. We're going to see the Indoraptor a lot more. and we're gonna see animals happy after you relocate them.
Yeah.
And that's not what we saw. We saw animal cruelty and them dying.
Yeah.
And then greed.
Yeah. No one cared. No one cared, period, in this film at all. No one gave two shits about this at all. That's why I'm pissed off, and that's why she's mad too. Because this sequel could have done a hell of a lot more better. The sequel could have done a hell of a lot more better if the writers, if everyone knew what the hell they were doing. This film went off the rails too many times in this. And I think me and her are in agreement. And this is the final verdict. We give this film a 3.5 out of 10. Completely. This film fell off the rails so many times, as we said before. The cast, while they tried their best with what they were given, it still was not enough.
No.
It still was not enough. At all. Completely.
It was terrible.
But if I were to sum up the whole thing, this film, they need to scrap this, make a better sequel to the first Jurassic World, because this one was not good. This one was not good at all, one bit. They need to follow with what they were given. They need to follow with what it's supposed to be, the name. It's supposed to be called Jurassic World. You know what I mean? And I think that's what they should do.
It's horrible. And the only reason I gave it like a 3.5 was because they actually used animatronics, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
They didn't do much. They really didn't do that good with this one. I'm hoping and I'm praying that the third film isn't bad. I'm hoping and praying that the third film does not suck. That it does not look like crap like this one did. Because this one was just a complete, utter disappointment. All around.
Off.
And they could have done a hell of a lot better with this. But, let us know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of this. If you think this movie sucked, let us know in the comments. If you were one of the ones that went to this movie and said, this was a good movie, this wasn't bad, let us know why you feel that way.
I think a lot of people are going to think this is bad.
Yeah.
So they take away that nostalgic feeling when they kill the Brachiosaurus.
Yeah. But let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about this and all that. And that's going to be it for me. I'm Miss Garen from 2. She's Alpha Wolf. And we'll see you all in the afterlife. Peace.
Boop.